Aloha, Michael Kumukau Ohali, Native Hawaiian cultural practitioner. I am witnessing, as you can see around me, the destruction that took place without an archaeological inventory survey that is mandated by law. I was never apprised by who's doing this, who's the authority, who has the placement, who they contracted to do the work. These things by law I'm supposed to be brought in on. Just going where these polka dotted ribbons and blue and purple ribbons and red ribbons were all festooned together, you can clearly see that there are major archaeological sites that are being inventoried now after the fact of the damage, significant damage of cause of standing of eminent harm to Hawaiian cultural and historical research sources that are mandated by Hawaii state law and federal law under NAGPRA for protection. Why wasn't the recognized cultural practitioner and cultural descendant not on site to witness some of this when this was taking place? The Navy has already acknowledged in several of its solar forums that I have the right to come and to participate as a cultural monitor.
Chair, may I ask a question, Michael Kumukau? According to Hawaii State Revised Statutes, me being the only recognized cultural descendant, I was never invited in on this process. That's Hawaii State Revised Statutes. And the only person here that can show irreparable harm is myself. Being a Native Hawaiian practitioner under Article 12, Section 7, I've already litigated 2 cases with Hoseko Inc. in First Circuit Court and won. My family is buried here, and I'm going through the process of lineal descendancy here, which once I do that, I intend to put a NAGPRA claim on this area. And I'm supposed to be notified in advance. I'm looking at litigation through Native Hawaiian Legal Corp, which OHA has paid for all my cases. I'm also in another litigation for, again, Hoseko. And the thing about it is, I thought you were supposed to obey the law.
But none of this was triggered by SHPD, Pua'alaiu, or by the archaeological companies contracted to do this work. And so we're very concerned because a trails resolution was passed last year to protect the Malden Trails. We call it Malden Trails, but he actually was the cartographer of the blonde that brought Kamehameha II's body in 1824. And in 1825, he mapped this side of the leeward coast of Oahu, showing the specific Hawaiian trails that were very important to the Hawaiian people to come to fish, and also a village that was established here right back to the time of the Tahitian migration. So this is a very important site culturally, historically, and for us, the cultural practitioner, to ensure the karsts, which we know and found karsts right here that are full of water, that are taking it to Haleolimu, the House of Limu, which is the foundation stone of the fishery, the food stock for the fishery. The fish come in here in Eva Beach, and especially Barbers Point, noted for the o'io that ate the lipua limu, that the o'io tastes, the meat tastes like the limu. And we know that in Eva, anybody who has done limu picking, the decrease in limu, the concern.
Just to help you out, because I want to see this project go through, and I want it to be mitigated. I'm not here to stop the project. Okay. I have a 1943 map of USGS, your guys' stuff, showing where the water holes are, identifying it already. Those are the outlets of the karst which feed my limu that allow me to do medicinal practices. That's my point. If the language reflects that, you take care of me.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to bring to the table.
Then we can do that.
Yeah.
And that will be, as I mentioned, that's already on the agenda for the environmental review to study the hydrology and to make sure that there are no impacts.
And so long as those impacts are there and the karsts are not broken, go right ahead, build your project. I'm not against it. But I just want to make sure it's protected. That's all I'm here for.
I'm going to task you, if you allow me to,
sure,
ask you to provide me with the language that you would propose, including...
I'll work with OHA so that it links it in from
great.
The state organization so it's legal.
Okay. It doesn't have to be legalese. It just has, once it's in the document, it's legal.
Yeah, okay.
It's a legal document.
Yeah, so long as you put that in, yeah.
So we want, and that would normally be handled as a whereas clause, whereas it has been acknowledged that there may be an existing underground hydrology and karst system that may be affected with ground disturbance.
That's it. That's my concern.
But I'll
And you need that fresh water running underground to make the limu grow, which is the food foundation for our fishery, which is a Hawaiian cultural resource as well as a public trust resource. These are all the bells and whistles that say, hey, something really is falling through the cracks and wrong. The law is not being followed. The City Council established in the Trails Resolution the importance of the trails and the karst in that resolution. That gives foundation of standing that this is an important place. The state Section 6E laws for the protection of the iwi that are buried in the karst here must be adhered to. All of these bells and whistles for protection are not happening, as you can see behind me. The question is why? We're looking to see what the extent of the damage is here, and they need to do an AIS. Oahu is the only island that has protection for the endangered on Oahu, pueo owl. We know the pueo. I have seen the pueo owl out here, but nothing has been done. Nothing has been triggered to follow the state law, basically for archaeological features and the biota here, plants, flora, fauna, and the birds.